Yeah, today we will look into the matter of determination of wavelength of light using Newton rings experiment. What is this? Of course, yesterday, at least in the previous class, we discussed the theory of the Newton rings experiment, how this experiment is constructed, how the waves are superimposing each other, how coherent forces are developed. So, what is type of rings? This means that nothing but how bright and dark rings. Why it is called Newton rings? So that is discussed in the previous class. And of course, the theory also we developed. That is what we developed. That is the diameter of the bright ring. Diameter of the bright ring is directly proportional to square root of the odd number, and diameter of the dark rings is directly proportional to the natural number what we derived yesterday. Now today, by using that theory and by using that experiment, we will determine wavelength of light. Okay, how it will be, you see that is the experimental arrangement. Once again we will look into this. This is a plain glass mirror. P is the plain glass mirror on which a plano convex lens is placed. This is a plano convex lens having high, that is called radius of curvature. High radius of curvature. So that is placed on the plane mirror. Then what happens? The space between this curved surface and plane mirror is this is just like increasing thickness air film is existed. Avana? This is just like wedge shaped film. There is air film is adjusted from the center to end of the plane mirror. So you see here, this is this is G is the glass plate. This is actually semi-silvered glass plate which makes 45 degrees to the direction of the incident light. Then what happens if the light is incident on this glass plate Z with 45 degrees? The rays which is incident normally to the plane glass plate P, and of course this is a plano convex lens. This is a combination of this P and L normally incident on this. That is the importance of that one. So then what happens? So this is the sunlight, sodium light. It is nothing but monochromatic light. It is monochromatic light is nothing but it contains a single wavelength. That is nothing but single color. Sodium light is nothing but it contains yellow color. We know it contains yellow color. Actually, yellow color contains two rays, that is called D1 line and D2 line, whose wavelengths are 5890 angstrom and 5896 angstrom. So of course, one of the wave will consider this wave is incident on this plane glass plate. Then what happens? So due to this reflection at glass plate G, those rays are passing through the plano convex lens L and incident on the plane glass plate Z. Suppose mirror, plane mirror P. So these rays reflected at 2 points. One ray is reflected at the curved surface of the plano convex lens. It is nothing but at this end, or maybe this end, at this man, at this end, this end reflected and come back, and it is partially transmitted, and another wave is reflected at the top of the plane glass mirror on the pane. So there is a two rays reflected. One is bottom of the curved surface, and the second one is the top of the mirror. These two rays went back. These two rays went back and superimposed each other and formed bright and dark rings alternatively. Why it is the rings? Because the air film exists in this area is whose radius is constant. రేడియస్ కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉన్నది మొత్తం చూస్తే ఒక సర్క్యులర్ షేప్ లో ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి we will observe here in this area there is bright and dark rings. This was discovered by Newton, and hence these rings are called Newton rings. This is the microscope of course microscope of the to view the micrometer. So we can view by using this micrometer there is bright and dark rings. This is the experimental setup in to determine the wavelength of light. Okay, this is the experimental arrangement just to determine the wavelength of light. What is theory? If r be the radius of curvature, actually this is the capital R, that is not small r. Just a minute. This is capital R. R is the radius of curvature of the this plano convex lens, and it is contact with the plate. This is plate P, where lambda is the wavelength of light used. Of course, Dn and Dm are the diameters of nth and m dark rings respectively. Because we know the diameter of the dark rings, so yesterday we discussed that is proportional to square root of the natural number. Yesterday we discussed. That is diameter of the dark ring is square root of the natural number. So Dn and Dm are the diameters of the nth dark ring and diameter of the mth dark ring. So then what happens? We know that is dn square is equal to 4n lambda r. Yesterday we derived, and dm square is equal to 4m lambda r. So here n is replaced by m. That is the only difference because this is nth dark ring. Here m is replaced because this is mth dark ring. So dn, actually yesterday we discussed that d square is equal to 4n lambda r. It is suffix is taken as n and m. So this is n dark ring, this is mth dark ring. That is the only difference. From these two equations, dn square minus dm square is equal to this 4n lambda r minus 4m lambda r. Of course, there is also 4 lambda r. It is here also 4 lambda r. We may take a common. Then dn square minus dm square is equal to 4 into n minus m into lambda r. What we require, our aim is to calculate this lambda. Our aim is to calculate this lambda wavelength of light. So that lambda is equal to how much? That is wavelength lambda is equal to dn square minus dm square by 4 into n minus m into r. Okay, when we know the values of dn and dm, that is the diameter of the nth dark ring and the diameter of the mth dark ring. This is the n the numbers. R is the radius of curvature of the plano convex lens. When we substitute into this equation, we can calculate the wavelength of light used, that is lambda. So how can we calculate these values? So that is dn and dm and r. We will see now. So of course, using this formula, we can determine the wavelength of light. What is this procedure? So first of all, just this is the actually bright and dark rings. This is actually central one is dark ring, but because in this case of this Newton rings, the center one is whose thickness is zero, t is zero. So that path reference is we have lambda by two. We know path difference lambda by 2 is the condition for the dark ring, already we discussed. So that the central ring is dark. This is white is bright ring. This is again dark. This is bright, dark, bright, dark, bright, dark. So etc. We can observe these Newton rings from the micrometer eyepiece. From the micrometer eyepiece. First of all, eyepiece of these microscope is adjusted on its crosswise. These are the crosswise. These crosswise are in the eyepiece. This is used to measure the values, to take the readings. Now the distance of the microscope from the film is adjusted at the rings with the dark center is well focused. So initially what we'll do, this crosswire is concentrated at the center, dark center. This is the center in well focus. You see here? Yeah, the center of the crosswire is adjusted at the center of the fringe pattern. So this crosswire center is adjusted at the center of the fringe pattern, just like that. You see here, just like that. Actually, that is you see that is actually just from it is moving towards the center. So now what we do next? So by counting the number of fringes, the microscope is moved to the extreme left of the pattern on the cross wire. Of course, it is adjusted tangentially in the middle of a clearly bright or dark fringe. The reading of the micrometer screw is noted. So what he has here, actually this is the center. You want to count this. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. So you want to count left. How much? Maybe it is the 20th dark ring or 30th dark ring, whatever it is. Not only here, maybe it is, maybe you may take bright ring also. So same formula we can use for the bright rings also. So we may concentrate this cross wire into the 20th or 30th bright or dark ring. So that yes, you see adjusted tangentially in the middle of a clearly bright or dark fringe. The reading of the micrometer screw is noted. There is, of course, there is readings we know. We have in this apparatus we can calculate the reading of this position. So how it is? Just like move that like this. See what is here? The actually it is just center. It is moving towards left, and one of the bright or dark ring it is coincide. So now we have to take reading. Now we have to take reading. You see here, the micrometer is now moved to the right. So from this side to toward this side. Actually, if it is 20th, this is also from this center. We have to turn right side to the 20th. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. We have to concentrate this also. So what is it is? Maybe it's 20. Maybe 20. You see here like this. And so the crosswire is moving towards the right side and it is 20th bright ring. Now once again you want to take micrometer reading. Now these two readings, the reading at this place and the reading at this place, the two readings difference is equal to diameter of this 20th reading, 20th ring. Am I right? This is the reading of the 20th bright ring here. And here also we concentrate coincide this cross wire, and again we have to take reading at this place, and the difference between these two rays gives the diameter of this bright ring. So this is not only 20th, and after 18th, 16th, 14th, etc. You see here, that is nth, n minus 2, n minus 5. It is nothing but 20th, 18th, 16th, 14th, 12th, 10th, etc. We have to take readings. Again, crossing the central dot spot is the same direction. The readings corresponding to n minus 4, n minus 2, and then this way towards right side. We have to take reading and note it on the other side. Now a graph is plotted between number of rings n and the square of the corresponding diameter. So already you discussed this, the distance between this reading and this reading is equal to diameter of this ring. It may be 20, and we have to take square of the diameter, that is d square. Square of the corresponding diameter, square d square we have to take. So now the graph is drawn between number of rings n, that is 20, and after 18, 60, that is n value. Of course corresponding d square value we know. We have to take graph like this. So this is x-axis, we have to take a number of rings, that is may be taken n, and on the y-axis we have to take d square. D square is the square of the diameter. Then the graph drawn between d square n is a straight line which is passing through the center of the coordinate system. Which is a center of the coordinate system. It is passing through the center of the coordinate system? Because already we discussed that d square is equal to, just a minute, we know the formula, d square is equal to 4 n lambda r we have taken. So from this, what we have observed, this is the d square is proportional to n. D square is proportional to n. Now we have d square is taken on the y-axis, n is taken on the x-axis. So that is y is equal to, this is x, 4 lambda r are constant, that is taken as m. So according to this, d square is taken on the y-axis, that is equal to n is taken on the x-axis, remaining are constant. So y is equal to mx. This is just like y is equal to mx. What is this y is equal to mx? We know y is equal to mx is a straight line which is passing through the origin. So the graph drawn between d square and n is a straight line which is passing through the origin. So the graph is just like that. Now we have to cut these two places at some to any point we may cut, that is at point C, that is the dark green, and at D just like this. At point B we cut there. So this is on the y-axis we have taken d square, so that is called dm square. This is we have dn square. This is m, so that it is small m, it is small n. So from this AB by C, dn square minus dm square, that is the dn square minus dm square is equal to AB, and m minus m, n minus m is equal to CD. So that AB by CD we can see there. Now this wavelength lambda is equal to, from that, 1 by r into AB by CD. How it came? We know a dn square minus dm square by 4 into n minus m into r is the formula. But dn square minus dm square by n minus m is equal to AB by CD. So that AB, we know the distance between those 2 points. CD is the distance between these 2 points. When we substitute into this equation, this is the wavelength we have. What is this R? R is called radius of curvature of the lens. What we have taken, that is a plano-convex lens. How can we determine this radius of curvature? We will see here. The radius of curvature of the plano-convex lens can be obtained with the help of a spirometer using the following formula. What is this parameter? This is the parameter you see here. This is the spirometer. In this parameter, actually, this is one leg. This is one leg. There is another leg. There is three legs are there. This is the central leg. So when we rotate this one, this central leg will move downwards or upwards. There is a two scales. This is one scale that is called head scale. This is another scale. This is pitch scale. By using these two scales, we can determine the radius of curvature capital R. By using this formula, that is R is equal to L square by 6h plus h by 2. Actually, this parameter experiment, once it is in intermediate, now it is eliminated. Once this parameter we have at intermediate level to determine the radius of curvature of the curved lens. So what is L and what is H? L is the distance between two legs. You see here, this is one leg, this is one leg. The distance between two legs, this is L. What is H? H is the height of the curved surface. What will do? The curved surface of the lens is kept in between those three legs. ఈ మూడు కాళ్ళ మధ్యలో ఉంచుతారన్నమాట లెన్స్ తీసుకొచ్చి పైన ఉన్నటువంటి స్క్రూను తిప్పుతూ ఖచ్చితంగా కోయిన్సైడెంట్ చేసి we have to take this riding H. So by using this formula, R is equal to L square by 6h plus h by 2, we can determine the radius of curvature capital R. Okay, so R we know, AB we know the distance between those 2 points, CD we know the distance between those 2 points. If these values, when we substitute into this equation, we can determine the wavelength lambda. Here, where L is the distance between two legs of the parameter, and H is the difference of the readings of the parameter when it is placed on the lens, as well as when placed on the plane glass surface. So substituting these values into above derived formula, wavelength can be calculated. So this is very very important. So this wavelength, because this Newton-Rings experiment for 10 marks question, for 10 marks question. Not only that, even you, when you are going to PG and thesis examinations, at least one question may come in this from this experiment. At least one question from this come from this experiment. So very very important, not only examination point of view, in a subject point of view also, very very good instrument to measure some the wavelength of light. Okay, any doubt evergaina? Emma, any doubts? ఎవరైనా రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వండి, ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే. ప్రమీల, ఆస్మా, మంజు, మహేష్, ఎనీవన్? నోనా? 3, 6, 9, 10. 10 మంది వచ్చారు అంతే ఈవేళ. 31 మందికి 30% అటెండెన్స్. వెరీ వెరీ పూర్ అటెండెన్స్. ఓకే, లైట్ యూ సీ హియర్, దట్ ఈజ్ అవర్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్. అయితే క్వశ్చన్ చదివేటప్పుడు ఇది ఒకటి ఒక క్వశ్చన్ కాదమ్మా. మనం నిన్న చెప్పుకున్నాం, మన ఫ్రైడే చెప్పుకున్నాం కదా, ఫ్రైడే చెప్పుకున్న క్లాసు ఈ క్లాసు కలిపి ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఇది ఒకటే మాత్రమే కాదు. ఎందుకంటే న్యూటన్ రింగ్స్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ అనేది కొంచెం పెద్ద క్వశ్చన్, ఒకేసారి మొత్తం చెప్తే కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతారన్న ఉద్దేశంతో నేను 2 భాగాలు మీకు చెప్పడం జరిగింది. ఓకేనా? సో కాబట్టి ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ఆ క్వశ్చన్ కలిపి ఒకటే క్వశ్చన్గా ఉంటుంది. అఫ్కోర్స్ నోట్స్ ఇస్తాను అనుకోండి. సో అది విషయం. సో నౌ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు టేక్ అటెండెన్స్. మహేష్, మహేష్ మా క్లాస్ ఎలా కలిసింది? మహేష్ మనోడే లైన్లో క్లాస్లో ఉండనుకున్నా. కూర్చో క్లాస్లో. యా, అటెండెన్స్ 1, యా 2 రాలేదా? 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, 10, 11, okay, 12, 13, 14, 15, okay, 16, yeah, 16, 17, okay, 8, Emma 6 present. ఏమైపోయారా? ఓకే, 17, yeah, 18, 19, okay, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, okay, 25, 25, 26, 26, 27, 27, 28, 29, 29, 30, yeah, 31, 31, 32, 32, 33, and 34. మా ఇవాళ కూడా చాలా మంది లేట్గా వచ్చారు. సో ఎందుకంటే ముఖ్యమైన సిలబస్లు మనకి ఆఫ్లైన్ అవకాశం లేనప్పుడు కనీసం ఆన్లైన్లో మనం ఒకసారి ఉపయోగించుకోవాలి. సో చాలా మంది ఆబ్సెంటీస్ ఉంటున్నారు, వాళ్ళకి చెప్పండి వన్స్ అగైన్. అటెండెన్స్ 90% లేకపోతే ఎగ్జామ్స్కి ఎలౌ చేయరు. నెక్స్ట్ స్కాలర్షిప్స్ కూడా ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఉండదు, స్కాలర్షిప్ కూడా రాదు, రెండూ రావు, వసతి దీవెన రాదు, విద్యా దీవెన రాదు. సో కాబట్టి మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్కి ఇంకొకసారి రిమైండర్ చేయండి, ఇంకొకసారి నేను కూడా గ్రూప్లో పెడతాను. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ మేబీ అటెండెన్స్ ఇలా ఉంటే చాలా నష్టపోతారు. ఎందుకంటే మామూలుగా ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాసెస్లో కంటే ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్లో తీసుకున్నప్పుడు సగం నాలెడ్జ్ వస్తుంది, ఎంత చెప్పినా మేము ఎంత కష్టపడినా. సో ఆ సగం నాలెడ్జ్ కూడా పోతే టోటల్గా జీరో అయిపోతారు మీరు. సో దెర్ ఈజ్ బాలేదు, అస్సలు బాలేదు ఇలా ఉంటే. సో కాబట్టి ఎవ్రీబడి మస్ట్ కంపల్సరీ క్లాసెస్కి మాత్రం అటెండ్ అవ్వండి, మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ చెప్పండి. మీరు కూడా చక్కగా క్లాస్ అంటే 2 కంటే 2కి వచ్చేసేయండి. ఇంటి దగ్గరే ఉంటున్నారు కదా, కొన్ని బయట కూడా తిరగడం లేదు కదా. సో బయట తిరుగుతూ ఉంటే ఎప్పుడో అనుకోవచ్చు. సో కాబట్టి ఇక్కడే ఉంటున్నారు కాబట్టి చక్కగా ఇన్ టైం 2 o'clock అంటే 2 o'clock క్లాస్కి వచ్చేయాలి, అలాగే 10 o'clock అంటే 10 o'clock క్లాస్కి వచ్చేసేయండి. అప్పుడు ఈ గ్యాప్ రాదు. మన సైన్స్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి అంటే ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు 10 నిమిషాలు అయిపోయిన తర్వాత క్లాస్ జాయిన్ అయితే అంతకుముందు దానికి లింక్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల ఇప్పుడు ఏం చెప్పామో అర్థం కాదు. అంతకుముందుది లింక్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఏం చెప్పామో మనకి అర్థం కాదు. సో కాబట్టి అది లేకుండా ఉండాలి అంటే స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి కంపల్సరీ ఫాలోఅప్ చేసుకోండి ఏమా. సో టుడే క్లాస్ ఇస్ ఓవర్. సో రిమైనింగ్ క్లాసు రేపు కలుద్దాం. రేపు ఫస్ట్ అవర్ ఉంది కదా, రేపు 10 o'clock క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది. చెప్పరా, ఇవాళ పెడతాను. ఎస్ అవును, ప్రింట్ తీసి పెట్టాలి. నేను లేని ఒక 4 రోజులు బయటికి వెళ్ళాను కొంచెం, అందువల్ల నేను కొంచెం పెట్టలేదు. సో ఇవాళ నేను తీసి పెడతాను. ఓకే, రైట్ రైట్, సరే, ఓకే, బాయ్. ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? ఏం లేవుగా.